What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. This is the fourth lesson for the TrueFire Next Guitar Instructor Contest. The link is down below in the description, and I would very much appreciate it if you took the time to check it out and cast your vote. So, this lesson we're going to pick up or expand on what we did in lesson number 3. And for a quick recap of what we talked about, we discussed breaking out of our pentatonic boxes, our shapes that entrap us, because that's where all our favorite licks are. So what we did was we tried to revisualize how we view the scales that we play, and we talked about obviously our minor pentatonic. And there are only two ways that you can play this scale. Basically in front of the root or behind the root. So we have, for playing on the root note with our first finger, we have this pattern. And if we're playing behind our root, say maybe our third finger, we have this pattern. Okay, so those are the only two ways we can play our pentatonic scale. So now let's put that to work. Let's make our brains think a little bit when we play and have some fun with this. We're going to be in A minor pentatonic, and we're going to be in 7th position. And so if I put my first finger on my D string, 7th fret A, right, I have my pattern 1, A minor pentatonic. So now instead of just moving around in the same key like we did in lesson number 3, let's change it up a little bit with some pentatonic substitutions. Okay? And don't get scared by that term, it's just a big fancy musical term. So what we're going to do is jump up a 5th. Most of us know a 5th as a power chord, or if you know the intervals in your minor pentatonic scale, you know it's the 4th note, because you have root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, 5th. So I'm on my ring finger on 5, this note is E, so now I'm going to play E minor pentatonic. And since I'm on my ring finger, it's going to be pattern 2. And then I can continue that down into pattern 1. Okay? So we have A minor pentatonic. Then we switch to E minor pentatonic right there. And if you look at the notes in that scale, there's only one note different from A minor pentatonic, and that's the C drops down to B. And if we're thinking A minor, right, B would be our 9. Real popular A minor 9 chord. So when you're playing in A minor and you switch over to E minor pentatonic, or a 5th above whatever root you're playing in, you begin to accent the 9th, and you add a very sweet, smooth sound to the minor you're playing with. So let's do one more. Right? Now that we're kind of seeing these patterns and putting what we talked about to use. We're in A minor. We play a whole step above A, which would be B. Again, I'm on my ring finger, so it's going to be pattern number 2, but now it's B minor pentatonic. Right? And when we do that, we're actually accenting the B, obviously because we're starting on it, but we're also going to be accenting F sharp, and in this case, that's going to be a major 6th. So if we put all these notes together, we're essentially just playing in a Dorian. But when we break apart and look at our patterns in the way we've been discussing, our 1-octave pentatonic patterns, that allows us to kind of just accent the note we want to, the 9 or the 6. And it also breaks up the predictability of constantly just playing in A minor pentatonic. You know, you change, one note here, one note there, completely changes the sound of what we're playing. So let's hear this in context. Put a little A minor loop on, and I put a little lick together. The transcription will be in the description below, and it'll be marked out of where I changed or used these pentatonic substitutions. So first I'm going to play the lick just in A minor pentatonic, and then I'll play it again, and I'll use the substitutions. Okay? So let's see how that sounds. Substitutions. sound cliche, but adding those extra notes in gives it a very jazzy sound, but again, it breaks up the predictability of just playing in a one minor pentatonic key. So again, I don't want this to be the focus on the superimposition of these minor E minor triads and B minor triads over A minor, because that's going to give us a cool sound, but really I want you to really focus on just changing the patterns you're playing on the fly. And this is a really simple way of applying that concept, right? So again, we have A minor pentatonic, so if here's our roots, we have E minor, and we have B minor. So just that alone, just you can take some time and noodle around. A minor, B minor, E minor, A minor. Alright, so you're putting that concept of revisualization of our scales to work. So, I hope this helps you to continue breaking out of your pentatonic scales. As always, let me know what you come up with, and until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.